I got a bucket of compost I'm gonna bury under some bananas for fertilizer. Oh shit, they're eating an iguana right now. Or they were, just like picking at it. I don't know.
What's like the negative effect of the iguanas? Like,
for vegetable production, it's horrible. Like they're vegetarians mostly, and they just like aggressively eat our veg, and like it's really horrible. Like even the nursery, like when the nursery's set up during peak season, like I've had them come into the nursery and just like totally decimate all the baby plants that were like gonna go into the field, and it's fucked. This site, the total growing space is 6,500 square feet. An acre is 47,000. So this is like, I don't know what that is, but it ain't even a quarter acre. It's really small. You know, people are really like, think it's like the most virtuous thing, and they think that we're gonna feed the world off of these small plots. And I don't necessarily think that, but I think that it has a role to play in teaching people what can be done on small plots, and that's enough for me. It feels good. Anyone could do this with some time. I mean, it takes time, and we're so disconnected from this process that, like, you know, like maybe there was a time where people just like instinctively came to this and could do this. Yeah. And we're not there anymore. Nobody knows how to do any of this. I didn't know shit until I put my hands in the ground, and like it took so many mistakes to like even know what I know now, and I'm only a few years in, and there's a lot of learning that needs to happen. A lot of people it takes some serious discipline to relearn this stuff that maybe our ancestors like just instinctively knew, you know. In farming, in a place like this, but really this is just the cost. Like the cost of owning a piece of land is really difficult. Even just residentially, here, just even to own a house that you want to live inside of is extremely difficult. So for somebody like myself, who's really trying to like find a place to really, you know, belong to, really grow alongside and have a family and just really just be in place, a part of the community, a part of the land, it's pretty much impossible here to make it on a farming income. So I'm leaving. We're moving to, we've got an opportunity with a farmer in Newport Richey, and he's going to sell us his farm for a really nice price, basically because he wants the place to continue to be farmed, and he doesn't really need the money. He's more concerned with the farm continuing. So we are leaving South Florida next month to move to Central Florida so that we can hopefully do that, growing alongside a community, alongside a piece of the land, and you know, keep the dream alive. Jim, I don't know how you move like you do. I really don't understand. Look at this pile. Look at this pile compared to mine. I don't know. This is the roll that my man does, but I'm not quite as good at his. Jim I modeled my farm down south off of Jim's kind of methods and teachings, which he adopted from however many people and so many years of farming. And then we met. I reached out to him after I took his classes, and just to see if I could meet him up in Maine. And then I visited him here, and then I went up to Maine last summer with my kind of like land plight that I've been going through. And he said, well, maybe you could take over my space. And so that's how all this is happening. Jim and I will just be working alongside each other for the next few years. It'll be like kind of a Jim can phase out. It's not like I'm giving him a set down payment and he's leaving. It's like I'll be working under him for this season. Next season, maybe I have some space to do things how I might want to do them with his help again, and then the following year will be like, however it works out. But that's sort of the plan.
Yeah, I mean, you left the land better than when you found it, and that's so important as a farmer. And you learn so much in the meantime. I mean, people often say that's a waste. You didn't get nothing, it wasn't your land, but you know, the lessons you learn are so priceless by dealing with land.
You come here and like Jim is Jim is showing this way of farming that is like, is extremely low tech. There's nothing. We have pruners, but like there's no tractor. There's really no machinery at all. No chemicals. So it's like a lot of these like books that are telling people to get into this. There's this hard like $40,000 startup, and you're like, holy shit, I'm not even gonna make even close to that. Like what, you know? So this is where Jim's mom lived. And she just passed away.
You know, the intention is to trade out a family. My mom and my brother were here, and I'm here, and then trade that out with Anna and Tanner and their family. And so to keep the farm intact, because if that got sold off, it'd be hard to make a viable living here. Yeah.
Right, because the farm's dependent on these two lots being the same thing. Once we get, you know, we have a half-acre production, which is basically like, all right, that's what I need to like kind of sustain and make a living here. So
if you would have sold one of these lots, do you think they would have just tore the house down and like?
They won't tear the house down because they're you know, classic houses, but you know, every place I've ever seen that, you know, had the food forest, everything was going on, they go back 4 years later, it's all St. Augustine grass. Just so sad, and that's another reason to see somebody that values what's here and actually sees the land as valuable, not some real estate thing. It's what it can pay you. You know, the land takes care of me because I take care of it. I mean, I paid the roofer $7 grand in 20s for that roof, you know? And I go pay the property taxes with $20 bills from market.
3 days old, 4 days old?
3 and 4 days old, yeah. And when everything's right, this porch is really.
Yeah, so these starting these little tiny blocks. They're super small. What, a ½ inch or something?
3/4 inch by 3/4 inch.
3/4 inch blocks.
Are you carrying eggs right now?
So Leia is out of her mind, dude. Dude. You need help? Let's do it together. You get one side, I get one side. 1, 2, 3. Cool.
You don't never think you're getting old, you know, you think, but you know, that I'm seeing young people and going, yeah, this is going on around me, and there's somebody else that's gonna take the handle of it and move it to the next level, and that really feels good. Because this is important. But, you know, I've definitely been like a jump starter for this area just because I jumped in with, you know, both feet. I went to a permaculture design course and Jeff Lawton was there, and I don't take notes, but I did take this note. The first thing he said is, don't sit on the fence, jump in with both feet and it'll be all right. And it's been the case.
You know? Yeah, it's huge. Jim, when I came up here and visited this place, even after coming, you walk away and you're like, wait a second. Like, it's so hard to pin in one visit. You really gotta. So I'm so grateful to be here with Jim, and I'm grateful that he's wise enough to be like, yeah, let's make this a transition and not like, here's a deed, you know, kind of thing, because it's going to be invaluable to just learn that all throughout the season. What are you doing? Soleil, you want to go in the truck?
Yeah. You never know, when you're 16, this could be your first vehicle.
Oh, how cool would that be? Sully's going to learn how to drive stick in this thing.
All farm girls should know how to drive a stick.
No doubt. She's going to be an urban farm girl, though, you know? Most people who get into farming are really not interested in the salesmanship, you know, they're like, it just shakes them up. And then he's like, the product will move itself. You're not trying to sell, you're not selling insurance. You're not like making dry phone calls to like people. You're just like, showing up, and as long as, I mean, you got to be a likable guy, like,
You know, but most people are always in this like, not enough, not enough. You know, and as soon as you get in that mindset, it changes everything. And I just throw it out there and trust, and it comes back with enough.
Yeah.
You know, and when you've got enough, that is so powerful, because then you've got extra and you can give it away.
there was a lizard in the water.
In the buckets.
There you go, brother. You want to see the lizard? You want to hold it?
You okay, bud? She's almost there. Aww.
The travel is essential to like knowing yourself, I think. I mean, at least for me it was, because I had no grounds for what that looked like. So, you know, once you live in a van for a period, or once you go on your cycle trip for periods of time, you end up wanting to settle up at some point. At least I did. To be in a place that I know I will be in for hopefully forever. Like, I'd love to just die here, you know. I'm young, I'm 27, so I'm speaking like I know what I'm talking about. But, you know, that's the hope, you know, that we can grow here, and Solea will grow up here, and this can be Solea's, and that whole mindset.